Most seniors think sleep problems are just part of aging, but one woman reversed hers with a spoonful of something already in her kitchen. You know that feeling? It's 2:47 a.m. and you're staring at the ceiling again. Your legs twitch. Your feet feel like blocks of ice. And even though your body is tired, your mind keeps wandering. You shift. You sigh. Another night, stolen by restlessness. That's what kept Linda, 66, up every single night. Nothing seemed to work. Not melatonin, not herbal tea. But then something surprising happened. Her daughter handed her a small bottle and a lemon. 2 ingredients. One simple habit before bed. Within 3 nights, Linda slept 6 full hours without waking. By day 5, her feet stopped going numb, and she woke up without groaning. The secret? A 4-zeosin-year-old oil paired with the most overlooked citrus on your counter. Today, you'll discover the exact bedtime ritual she used, the 7 points on the body that respond fastest to this method, and the one mistake that keeps most people from seeing results. Have you ever tried something simple at home and it actually worked? Drop a heart in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. But here's the wild part. The most powerful spot isn't your stomach or feet. It's in problem number 5. Let's count down. If your feet feel like ice blocks by 3 a.m., your body's trying to tell you something. Robert, 68, used to wake up every night at the same time. Not from noise or dreams, but from the cold creeping into his legs. Even with socks on, his feet felt frozen. And when the cold set in, sleep slipped away. He thought it was just age. Poor circulation, the doctor said. Try walking more. But walking didn't help. Neither did heavier blankets. Then his neighbor mentioned something unusual. She told him about a nighttime ritual passed down from her grandmother. A spoonful of warm castor oil mixed with fresh lemon juice, rubbed gently into the soles of the feet right before bed, covered with soft cotton socks. The first night, Robert felt relaxed. But the second night, he woke up warm, deep sleep. No pins and needles, just rest. Castor oil is rich in ricinoleic acid, which helps stimulate microcirculation. Lemon adds a mild astringent effect, tightening vessels just enough to direct blood flow back to the extremities. That gentle warmth, it wasn't just physical. Robert said it felt like being held from the inside out. Try this foot oil ritual tonight. You'll know within 20 minutes. But if you also wake up stiff in your lower back, problem number 6 might surprise you more. If your feet feel like ice blocks by 3 a.m., your body's trying to tell you something. Poor circulation is one of the most overlooked causes of sleep disturbance in seniors. It doesn't always show up as a medical condition. Sometimes it's just a deep, nagging cold in your legs or feet that never goes away, especially when you lie down. That's what Robert, 68, dealt with every night. He described it as trying to fall asleep in a freezer. No matter how many blankets he used, his feet stayed cold. His sleep was broken, light, and filled with tossing and turning. Then, his daughter shared an old remedy from her herbalist friend. 1 teaspoon of castor oil, 3 drops of lemon juice, rubbed into the soles, arches, and heels, covered gently with warm cotton socks. By the second night, Robert said something he hadn't said in years. I slept through. The cold sensation disappeared. He felt warmth not just in his feet, but in his whole body. like someone tucked him in from the inside. It wasn't magic. It was better blood flow. Castor oil penetrates deeply into tissues. Lemon activates microcirculation. Together, they wake up the body's natural heat. What's fascinating is how fast the shift happens. For some, it's within 20 minutes. For others, the second or third night brings a gentle return to balance. Not just warmer feet, but a calmer nervous system, a slower heart rate, a body that finally feels ready to rest. The feet are rich with nerve endings and capillaries. When those areas open up, the body starts to listen. And sometimes, that's all it takes, to feel human again. Try this foot oil ritual tonight. You'll know within 20 minutes. But if you also wake up stiff in your lower back, problem number 6 might surprise you more. What if your back pain isn't a joint issue, but a lymph issue? Most people assume stiffness in the lower back comes from aging joints or worn cartilage. But for many seniors, the problem is something quieter: a sluggish lymphatic system. That was the case for Linda, 61. Every morning, she had to sit up slowly, brace herself on the mattress, and wait nearly 5 minutes before she could stand without wincing. Her lower back felt locked in place, tight, heavy, almost swollen from the inside. Then she learned a new habit from a retired massage therapist. Each night before bed, Linda warmed 1 teaspoon of castor oil, added 2 drops of lemon juice, and gently massaged it into her lower back in slow, circular motions. No pressure, just presence, just breath. By the 3rd morning, she stood up without reaching for the nightstand. The stiffness had eased. Her steps were lighter. Her sleep had been unbroken. She smiled before she even got to the bathroom. What changed? The castor oil, absorbed through the skin, stimulated lymphatic flow, clearing out trapped fluid and inflammation. The lemon added a mild astringent action, tightening and toning the tissue. The body wasn't broken, it was blocked. And once the flow returned, the pain dissolved. Picture it: the warmth of the oil sinking in, the muscles loosening their grip, the tension melting like ice under sunlight. That's what it felt like, Linda said. Like my body finally stopped clenching. It's easy to overlook the back as a lymphatic zone, but it's one of the most congested areas for those who sit too much or sleep on soft mattresses. That heaviness isn't always age. It's fluid, stuck, and waiting for release. Warm the oil slightly and move slowly. That's when it works best. But what if the pain moves down to your knees? That's where problem number 5 comes in. It's not always arthritis. Sometimes it's just stuck fluid. Stiff knees can feel like rusted hinges, creaking, cracking, resisting every movement. For seniors, it's one of the most frustrating limitations. Not being able to stand up smoothly, needing a hand or a nearby chair just to push off the couch. That was Frank, 74, a retired school bus driver. Mornings were the worst. He'd sit on the edge of his bed, rub his knees, count to 5, then force himself up, wincing every time. He used to say, "I'm not old. My knees are just mad at me." His turning point came after a neighbor shared a home blend. Each night, Frank mixed a teaspoon of castor oil with a few drops of lemon juice and rubbed it gently around both knees in wide circles. No need to press hard, just enough to warm the area, feel the skin loosen, and the muscles soften. Then he added a soft towel, slightly warmed, wrapped around both knees for 10 minutes. By the 5th night, Frank stood without pushing off. He didn't notice at first. It wasn't until halfway through brushing his teeth that he realized he'd stood on his own. No groaning, no hands. Just legs doing their job again. What changed wasn't the knees themselves, it was the tissue around them. Swelling had eased. Drainage had improved. Circulation returned. And with it, confidence. The knees hold more than weight. They hold emotion, hesitation, old habits of bracing for pain. But when the fluid clears, so does the fear. He said it best. It felt like my knees remembered me. It wasn't a miracle. It was consistency. A warm oil, a few slow circles, a moment of attention. Pair this with 3 minutes of movement. You'll double the result. But here's where it gets really interesting. Problem number 4 affects your memory. Lemon and castor oil don't just help your body, they help your clarity. Maria, 66, used to laugh off her forgetfulness, but inside, it scared her. She'd walk into a room and forget why, lose her train of thought mid-sentence. Names slipped. Groceries got left behind. It wasn't every day, but often enough that she began to wonder if it was the start of something serious. Then she read about a practice used in Ayurvedic and Japanese traditions. A simple oil blend, gently applied to the base of the skull, right where the spine meets the brainstem. That small, quiet place where nerves from the body meet the brain. She warmed a bit of castor oil, added 2 drops of lemon juice, and rubbed it into the back of her neck in slow, circular motions. Then she leaned back into her chair, closed her eyes, and breathed 5 minutes, nothing more. By the 4th night, Maria noticed something. Her thoughts didn't scatter as much. By the 7th night, she remembered a neighbor's name without effort. A week later, she recalled every item on her grocery list without looking. The base of the skull is a sensitive nerve cluster, part of the autonomic nervous system. When it's tense, everything feels scrambled. But when it relaxes, the brain gets room to sort, store, and retrieve, like fog lifting after a storm. It didn't just clear her head, it softened her anxiety. That nightly pause became a ritual, a signal to the brain. You're safe now. You can rest. And rest she did, deeper, calmer, with fewer middle-of-the-night wake-ups. It's not a cure, it's a doorway, one you step through gently, each night, with care. Do this 10 minutes before bed. It might change your tomorrow. And now, the digestive trick nobody told you. Problem number 3. You don't need more fiber. You need this oil to move things. Walter, 70, Samini, did everything his doctor told him. More greens, more water, morning walks, but his digestion stayed slow. He felt bloated after small meals. Sometimes he'd go 3 days without a bowel movement, and every night he went to bed feeling full and restless. It was more than physical discomfort. It weighed on his mood, his sleep, even his appetite. Then he heard an old remedy from his sister-in-law. Each night, before sleep, he mixed a teaspoon of castor oil with 3 drops of lemon juice and rubbed it around his navel in slow, clockwise circles. Not hard, just enough to feel warmth under his skin. He did it for 5 minutes, then placed a warm hand towel over his belly. By the 2nd night, something shifted. His belly felt less tight. He woke up hungry. By the third day, he felt a lightness he hadn't felt in weeks. Like I had room to breathe again, he said. The science is simple. Lemon essential oil stimulates the vagus nerve, the line of communication between brain and gut. Castor oil softens the tissue, increases lymph movement, and encourages peristalsis, the gentle wave that moves waste along. But the real magic is rhythm. The body loves rhythm. Small circles, each night, tell the gut, you're not forgotten. You're being cared for. Walter still does it. Not because he's blocked, but because it helps him feel connected to his body again. And there's something healing about touch, about slowing down, about making space, physically and emotionally, for movement to happen. Be gentle, breathe deep, the gut listens. But the biggest change happens at problem number 2, and it's all about your liver. Feeling heavy, tired, moody. Your liver's begging for help. Helen, 65, couldn't explain it. She wasn't sick, exactly, but mornings felt like climbing a hill. Her limbs were slow, her mood unpredictable, and no matter how early she went to bed, she woke up groggy. She snapped at her husband for small things. She lost patience over nothing, and she couldn't remember the last time she felt rested. Then her niece, who studied holistic medicine, asked her one question. Have you ever tried caring for your liver directly? That night, Helen warmed a teaspoon of castor oil, added 3 drops of lemon juice, and gently rubbed it into her upper right abdomen, just beneath the ribs. She did it slowly, breathing as she moved in small, firm circles. Then she placed a warm towel over the area and sat quietly in the dark. The next morning felt different. She didn't bounce out of bed, but she also didn't drag herself. Her thoughts felt clearer, her mood steadier. By the third night, she was sleeping more deeply, waking more calmly, and noticing fewer mood swings. There's a reason. The liver is a filter. But like any filter, it gets clogged. Castor oil increases microcirculation to the liver's surface, encouraging flow. Lemon supports bile production, helping move toxins out. Together, they don't detox the liver. They support it, gently, quietly. It's a form of care. Not punishment, not restriction, just warmth, attention, and the willingness to listen to what your body has been whispering. Helen now calls it her reset moment. 3 drops, 10 minutes, and a feeling of coming back to herself. And it's more than physical. That nightly ritual reminded her she could shift her own state, without pills, without pressure, just presence. It's not detox. It's care. Try this with intent. And finally, the one thing most people get wrong. Problem number 1. 90% of people do this wrong. That's why it doesn't work. They try castor oil during the day, or use too much, or skip the lemon altogether, and then they wonder why nothing happens. But timing and ratio matter, especially with a remedy this gentle. Ellen, 59, had almost given up. She'd read about castor oil online, tried applying it once or twice in the afternoon, even wrapped her feet in plastic at one point. Nothing changed. She still tossed and turned, still felt bloated, still woke up achy. Then she heard someone mention something different. A time. A formula. At exactly 9:30 p.m., she warmed 1 level teaspoon of castor oil, added 3 drops of lemon juice, and split it between 2 areas. Her upper right abdomen, over the liver and the soles of her feet. No wrapping, no tricks, just firm, calm hands. 10 minutes of quiet, and then to bed. By the second night, she noticed something subtle but powerful. She didn't wake up in the middle of the night. Her belly felt softer in the morning. Her jaw unclenched. She stopped clenching her fists in her sleep. It wasn't a crash or a cleanse. It was a letting go. A slow exhale that came from the inside out. The body responds to rhythm, especially at night, when repair and digestion peak. That's why 9:30 p.m. matters. And that's why less is more. Just enough oil, just the right time, and your body will take it from there. For Ellen, the change wasn't dramatic. It was gentle, like sinking into warm water, like remembering what it feels like to rest without effort. She said, "I didn't fall asleep. I was carried." Less is more. Let your body do the rest. So, what does all this mean? Let's bring it all together, and I have one last thought for you. You probably never thought about this spot, but ancient practitioners used it for everything. Right behind the ankle bone, just where the Achilles tendon meets the heel, is a small, soft hollow. It's easy to miss, but for centuries, it's been seen as a gateway point, a place where nerves, blood flow, and energy converge. Daniel, 72, struggled with heel pain, not sharp, but persistent. He also woke up 2 or 3 times a night, often to use the bathroom, sometimes just from restlessness. It wasn't the worst problem, but it wore him down. His days felt long. His nights felt broken. Then he tried something simple. Each night, he mixed a bit of castor oil with 2 drops of lemon and massaged it gently into the soft spots behind both ankles. He used his thumbs. No pressure. Just warmth. Just breath. A quiet routine. By the 5th night, he noticed 2 things. First, his heel pain had eased. The tightness that used to greet him each morning was gone. And second, he was sleeping through the night. No more jolting awake. No more staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. He even skipped his usual 2 a.m. trip to the bathroom. Behind the ankles lies a web of nerve endings, lymph channels, and capillaries. It's a sensitive area tied to the kidneys, the bladder, and sleep regulation in both Eastern and Western traditions. When this spot is relaxed, it signals safety to the body. It's like flipping a quiet switch. And the best part? It takes less than a minute. A small act of care in the softest part of the body. Daniel says it feels like his whole system lets out a sigh. Try this spot just once. You'll feel the shift. And now, let's bring it all home. We chase pills, plans, and promises. But sometimes, the answer was always in the kitchen. Not loud, not fancy, just a small brown bottle and a lemon. A simple act, a slow circle, a breath, and the willingness to try something gentle. What castor oil and lemon do isn't magic. They don't force change. They invite it. They soften the tight places. They wake up the parts of us that have gone quiet from years of tension, habits, or hurt. Every story you've heard in this video, Robert's feet, Linda's back, Frank's knees, Maria's memory, Walter's belly, Helen's mood, Daniel's sleep, they all had one thing in common. Stillness. Not laziness, not weakness. Just a body waiting to be heard. And once they gave that body the right nudge, at the right time, in the right way, something shifted. The warmth returned. The breath deepened. The nights got easier. And beneath all of it, a quiet truth. That your body remembers how to heal. It just needs space. It needs rhythm. It needs to feel safe enough to let go. That's what this practice offers. Not a cure, not a command, a conversation. One that begins when you slow down enough to listen. You don't need to change your entire life overnight. You don't need to memorize all the steps. Just pick one. Pick one spot on your body that's been calling for help. Then give it 3 drops, 10 minutes, and a little quiet. Let your hands say, I hear you. Let your breath say, you're safe now. Let the warmth say, you're coming back. Try this for 7 nights and let it be your quiet ritual. And if it works, share this with someone you care about. Because when healing happens gently, it stays. And if nothing else, you've given yourself something rare, presence, a small window of peace in a world that's constantly rushing you. This isn't about fixing everything. It's about coming home to your body, one breath at a time. But we haven't talked.